I was reading on sound, or the development of sound, how we obtain sound, how we transition from autologs into digital autolog devices into digital devices, and more or less the difference is autologs is transmuting energy, sound, turning it into electricity or vibration, and outputting it back into that sound, or the exact sound it was previously. With digital, it's more or less translating. It's translating the information that was sent to the digital device and then outputting it in the same manner. But then that's why with digital devices, it sounds a little bit different. But you really don't catch up. You don't catch it unless you like comparing the autologs sounds, the sound that the autolog produces. You wouldn't know that. So yeah, there's a lot of shit. More or less, it's like code. It's coding 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, and each of those ones and zeros they equal up to like 16, 2, 4. Actually, they gave me a format where it shows like if you have 1, 2, 4, and I think 6 and 13, you'll be able to more or less create every number in between 100 and 1. I don't think I gave the exact numbers correctly, but yeah. And they said digital devices more or less gave life to sampling sounds and shit like that, recording. More or less, digital devices were more or less used to hold data rather than being what we use today. But they needed a way to keep their information secret. While also, if I know y'all experienced, I know y'all got grandmothers and shit, but those phones where it's like, it's not, they don't even have like that rotation and shit, but it's I can't even really explain it, man. More or less, bro, when you speak, you can hear like echoing sounds, like you can hear like the surrounding sounds. That's one of the problems with the analog devices or analog telephones and shit like that. They carry like this extra sound, and I guess they wanted to clear that up. And it's crazy. I was confused on like what type of sound you're talking about until I realized, damn, my grandma got the same shit. Or when you allowing someone in your house, right, and you gotta speak to them, I think that's the analog device too. That's an analog telephone. Word. And it's crazy, my dumb ass skipped steps, because they was talking about Paris, more or less, it's Burgundy, it's somewhere in France or in Paris, where like the seas more or less retreated backwards, and they left this cave or whatnot, certain caves, and then over time with rain, carbon dioxide, you know what I'm talking about, the gas. My pronunciation for that is not working right now, I'm sorry. But with that, what they said was being formed inside stalagmites, stalagmites, something like that. I literally obtained this information about what I'm speaking about today. But yeah, more or less, they said Neanderthals. This is another thing, bro. But I'm gonna keep on going. They said Neanderthals, more or less, they found paintings that was left by Neanderthals. They did the radiometric dating to determine how old it is. They said it was like 30,000 years old, right? Bob. Then they said the cave was able to produce these reverberation frequency or sound. That's basically echoing. I just learned that word too. And basically, you would say a word, you would speak out in the cave, and that shit would make like 7 distinct sounds and shit like that, and then it'll last for like 5 seconds. And they said the Neanderthals was probably amplifying or experimenting with sound, or that was the first time of experimenting sound, but I doubt that, like, because if we, more or less, environmental natural sound, or creating different sounds with their environment rather than like artificial sounds, like with drums and shit like that. Or, but to add more, it's just funny how Neanderthals used to be perceived as like animalistic. They didn't have no sense of like self, but they're in a cave. They said it was like they did a shamanistic ritual of singing in the cave with the sounds. It's just funny how like Neanderthals are spiritual tapped in people now, you know what I mean? I guess once you realize you're related to these people, you gotta make them seem grand. But yeah, that's what I learned a little bit today. Damn, it's crazy how connected this world is with other categories of life. Word of bro. So yeah, we changed or transferred from the analog telephone to the digital telephone because we needed to save data. I'm tweaking. We did not. I had brain fart. We wanted the sounds that was being produced by the telephone to be more pure and crispy, while also the government wanting to keep the information or conversations being sent out secret. Well, there's a lot of shit, but I hope I was able to inform you about digital devices and fucking analog. Hope I'm pronouncing. I'm tweaking. It's analog. I'm sorry. If you got this far to this video and it's probably cussing my ass like, nigga, it's called analog. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I got the word wrong, but I got the meaning behind it, right? Right? Let me know if I'm tweaking. Put me on if I'm bugging, if I'm missing little details behind. I know I am, because I had to fucking more or less go on YouTube to get more endeavored in this shit, because I ain't know what they were talking about. But word up, bro. Put me on. Let me know how y'all feel about my analysis on analog telephones and digital telephones.